Hi everybody, Deanna here again, and we're going to do a craft today, and it's for hashtag Graphic45 off the page. That's where I'm going to post it in, but it's also my craft for the week. It is a bird house, and it's the plaid gazebo bird house that I purchased. And then I didn't notice until after I started painting it that I'm missing a little leg. Now what I'll do next time I go to Hobby Lobby or something, I'll pick up some little wooden knobs. I have some, but they were too big, so I will just replace that with that. And sometimes you run into things like that. I didn't notice it when I purchased it, so I don't know if it got knocked off prior to being purchased or afterwards, and I just can't find it. But it is what it is, and I'm going to go through with it. Now what I did first was, it was just plain pine wood, so I primed the whole thing with gesso. And then once that was good and dry, then I just used white acrylic paint. This just happened to be Apple Barrel, so it's a flat paint. Then what I did was I took just the color I wanted, which is I just used Anita's acrylic paint. This one just happened to be Princess Pink. And then also at Hobby Lobby or some of the other bigger craft stores, they have a stain antiquing medium. And what you do with that is you add this to your paint, and it becomes an antiquing stain that you can use. And I just put my paint in and then add the antiquing medium and then stir it until it's the consistency I want, which is usually like a thinner paint. So that is what I used with that. And this one happened to come from Hobby Lobby, and it's older, so it lasts quite a while. So then I mixed it, and I got it all done, but I saved one panel here just to show you how it's done. And that's why I have gloves on, is because it is messy and I don't want this all over my project. So I'm going to try to avoid touching it once I get going here. So I just... You can see it's still like paint consistency, and you're just gonna paint it on like you would regular paint. And what this allows you to do is to let it sit for just a little bit and wipe it off, and it leaves some of the paint behind, so it gives it an antiqued effect. So let's get that out of the way. We're just gonna let that sit just for a few seconds. And while that's doing that, I don't never leave it sit very long because I do not want it to dry. So, and hopefully I'll be able to stay out of it. And I kind of left more along the edges and just kind of took out some. Now this is going to be covered with papers and decorated, so you're not going to see a whole lot anyway, but I just like the effect. There we go. And that's just where I scratched accidentally scratched it. That will get covered with paper. So there we are. That is our starting project. Do these gloves. And excuse my voice today. I am coming down with my granddaughter's cold, I think. We're going to use the Graphic45, and this is the new Garden Goddess collection. And I used one of each of the first 3 pages. I used one of these, one of these, and one of these. There we go. Now what I did for the top panels is I took a piece of paper and I laid it on there. I'm going to keep it like this so it's easier for you to see. Laid it on there, and then I pressed around all 3 of the edges really hard till I got a good crease in there that I could see. I then took my pencil and I made 3 dots, one at each of the 3 corners. That allowed me to be able to see it good enough to make pencil marks and to draw the lines. So when I put it in my trimmer, I could see it. All the stuff I don't need out of the way. Then I took my trimmer, and now that I could see these lines, I went in Oops, let me lift that back up. I went in approximately, probably about, I want to say about 1/16 of an inch on the inside of that, and tried to make it look like it was even on both sides. And then I cut that. And I did the same to all 3 of these edges, just so it's a little bit smaller than the rest. And then that was my template. That was my template for the top. And as you can see, it leaves, and if it doesn't leave enough, you can go back and trim more. So that's what I did. That's how I got my template for that. And I actually made it out of a scrap piece of cardstock. So now to lay it out on your paper, let me grab a, oops, what I did was I lined it up along the bottom there, and then I actually used the back side so I didn't get pencil marks on my top page that I wanted to use. Excuse me. Made my marks with my pencil, slid it over and matched that tip up with the other tip, and then cut the second one out. So then what I ended up with was another piece that was exact in between those two, so that gave me 3 out of 1 page. And you could also go up here and get another one out. So that I needed 6 of those, because this has got 6 sides. So that takes care of the top panel. Now for the bottom panel, excuse me, I just took my ruler and I measured from up inside there, and then because my base comes out a little bit, I just kind of measured it. I could see that it was 4 1/2, so I went 4 3/8, so that would give me a little bit to show on the sides, and then measured the side and it was 2 1/2, so I went 2 3/8 on the side. So I cut all those out. And I ended up with, I will show you, I ended up with this much scraps. Now I didn't want to use this piece because it's like almost a half a sheet. So I wanted to save that. And I had 2 pieces of these that were just a little bit bigger, so I cut those down to the size I needed for these panels. Then I'm just going to use this on one of the sides as one of my fillers. And I got 5 of the other ones. This is going to be my front piece, and these are going to be my side pieces. And it's going to get decorated and covered up, so a lot of it won't even be seen. So for this part with the birdhouse with the peg, what I did was I lined my paper up, and then I pressed with my finger as hard as I could to get an indentation on there, or a mark on the paper that I could feel. I then marked it with my pencil in the center, or where I felt it was. And then I took this punch, this crocodile, and I used the biggest setting, and I just kind of went to the center mark and punched that out. And that gave me a starter pilot hole. Now I have a handheld one, but I could not reach in there from the sides. I needed to. I finally was able to get just far enough from the bottom that I could punch out a little bit. And then I did that just kind of a couple times, checking each time on my thing to see where I had to go. And I was able to get most of it out. So then what I had left was I just took my knife and I just kind of carved out the rest that I needed to. Now you could also, if you don't have those choices, you could just run a line, snip a line up to that, and then punch it. Because it's going to, once you get it on here, it's going to be decorated. So you're not going to see that little line. Unfortunately, I didn't think of that until I was already doing the other way. Then I took my blade, and I could feel the hole. So I poked my knife in, and I just made angles, holding my paper where I wanted it, cut back angles to where I needed to cut out, and I've got one more to do here, and I just sliced till I got to the center. Now what I can do is just slowly cut around this circle to finish my hole. And if they fall inside, that's no biggie. We'll just fish them out later. But this is the easiest way for me to try to get my circle where I want it. Now this will not have a shadowed edge on it, which is fine. It doesn't need to. It's going to get some jute or something around the edge anyway. And just be careful not to be in such a hurry that you cut yourself. And I hope you can see what I'm doing. I'm just taking my knife right around the edge there. And there we go. And that is that. Alright. Now also using the Graphic45 dies, I cut out a whole bunch of flowers. Now I put these together because time-wise it just not efficient to do this on the video for you, along with the rest. So I cut all these out of there, and then I also cut some out of just plain, like a peach colored cardstock. Glued those together, and then I just glittered them with the Martha Stewart Crystal Fine Glitter. And then I set them all aside. So I just punched and punched and punched and punched and punched until I had a whole bunch of them. Actually, I'm just going to set these up back over here. And then I just put a little pearl in the center. And I've got some of the leaves, the separate leaves too, and some of the just the smaller flowers. I didn't do anything with those. I also punched the clock out, and we'll be using that on there somewhere. And what I use for these, just flip those all over. Problem with the leaves is they get tangled together, but that's all part even. Well, I had a pack of just this Princess Collection paper, and the colors are very similar to the other pack. So knowing that with these flowers, not a lot is going to be seen of the actual page, I actually took two of these, sliced them in half, and then punched all my flowers out of this. Because the colors are just so similar, and you're not going to see the distinct pictures on there. So I was just going for the patterns and the colors mainly. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to start gluing these on, and we will start with this base here. And I love birdhouses. I don't know why, I just do. I just think they're so cute. Now this one, of course, will not be outside. It will stay in my craft room. So I'm going to line that up. And just press it down. I'm using art glitter glue. And we're going to turn it. And it really doesn't matter where I put this one. So maybe I'll just put this one right here. And I think I'll do this on the top part because that will be more visible, I think. And I'll put the other one on the bottom. I think the closer I get to the front, the more decorations will probably be on the front and the back. Oops. Slide up there. A little bit. There we go. And this is just a little bit longer. Whoops. I did that wrong. I wanted that to the top. Silly girl. There we go. Let's try again. There we go. And if you need to reach up in there, use your little tool. There we go. And this is actually going to go over top of the other piece because it's a little bit longer. And pardon if I get my head in the way there. Trying not to. There we go. And like I said, a lot of that's going to be covered up, so it's not going to be that noticeable. And turn. And then the rest of these are all the same. And you could flip and use the other side too, if you would like. But I've got an idea for some other green on there, so I didn't want to use the other green. And then we'll show you that when that's probably like the very last thing I do, because it has to sit and dry. Now I didn't plan how I was going to decorate it, so we'll be doing that together. I just pre-made the flowers and stuff, but I didn't try to pre-fit anything to see what it looked like. So it's going to be just as much of a surprise to me as it is to you. Oh, come on. Get down there. Make sure those are good. I'm working with wood. Not all is exactly flat. So it looks like I got to do a little permanent pressing the paper on there. There we go. And the last panel. Put that in the bottom a second. And up it goes. And you could make it go all the way to the edge, but I want to see some of that pretty pink color on there. Alright. So that's what we got so far. Like I said, you could have used another piece of paper and covered that, but it's not, once I get started and decorate, I don't think you're going to notice that. And, there. So now our top. Now I chose this one for the very front of the top, and I had to specifically find that it was off to the side a little bit, so I had to kind of wiggle it around a little bit to get exactly where I wanted. So I wanted that for the center of the front here. Now this is a great view for you. It's just not a great view for me. So let me tip that up a little bit. And get that lined up there. Slide it a little. There we go. This is very, very pretty paper. Of course, I love Graphic45. Some of the brighter ones, maybe I gotta just see it in person to like it, but I'm like the pastel ones. Alright. Now let me see if that one panel's dry already. And it feels like it is. I'm not feeling any wetness. Okay, good. We'll just continue. Now this one was right next to this, and that was the Garden Goddess, so I thought that would be cute. Right alongside of that. And again, I'm just going to tip it up so I can get a better view of it. Oopsie. Come on. I'm sorry. Yeah. There we go. I'm trying to be careful not to. There we go. Just a little corner here that doesn't want to go down here. Make sure everything's fastened good before we move on to the next part. All right. And all the rest are the same. Now, when you get to, when you flip your thing, you're going to end up with some that are upside down. But it's really not going to matter because there's not that much of it showing. And then it'll get decorated. So we're just going to continue on. And but just so you know that if you're using a different paper to do this project, be aware that when I tell you that that center one is the same and you can just use that it will be upside down when you cut that out. Because some of your papers are pattern specific and it would look funny if you did, but I wasn't worried about it too much because I know it's going to get decorated and it's going to kind of mute that out. So it was no big deal to me, but if I had a pattern paper that it would show and be obvious, then I would absolutely use extra paper to cut out the other pieces. This comes together fairly nice. I haven't made one of these before, but it wasn't too bad. Alright. Here we go. Okay. Just get my fingers on there. There we go. And the last one. All right, here we go. Like I said, just be aware that it is wood surface, so it's going to have some imperfections, dips and stuff that will... There, so there's the top of it now. And there's the front. I'm not going to do anything on this because I think that's going to be mostly... Boy, I'm almost tempted, but I think that's going to be mostly decorations, so I think we're good there. Alright, so let's get started on laying out some flowers and stuff. Got my hot glue gun heated up. Now I also have, I didn't get the chipboard and stuff with this paper pack. I have so much product that I'm not using that I love the new stuff and I keep wanting to buy it, but I want to use up some of my old stuff too that I already have access to. This happens to be an elegant lady, or the portrait of a lady chipboard, but some of these are just, it doesn't matter that I can use because they've just got the flowers on them. So I'm going to use some of those. I just test fitted one of the little buttons with a bow just to try it out. So I'm going to probably use some of those chipboard pieces. Now the clock is my, oops, sorry about that, that's my phone. The clock is probably going to be built first because That's the biggest piece, so we'll probably find a place for that first. Alright. And I almost want to put that on some cardstock. So let me grab a vanilla piece of cardstock here. Have a partial piece? I do. I have a partial piece here. And then this is just American Crafts vanilla cardstock, and that's not big enough, so we'll use that just to give this a background. We'll use that. Now what am I going to do with these is I'm going to use a spray glue because they're so detailed. That is going to be my, not for the littlest ones because they'll just blow away, but let me spray down that a second with some spray glue. And it's just Hobby Lobby adhesive spray. Sorry, I forgot to get ready for this. There we go. I apologize for not being ready for that. I'm just going to lay it on here, and then we'll just gently fussy cut around the edge there. Now when I cut that out with the die, it must have moved in the cutter, so I'm just missing a fine edge just there. But once I get that glued down, we'll make sure that that gets hidden. And we'll just center that in there. And you can use your regular glue jade here. It just, for me, it's so much easier with all that delicate detail to just spray it. And we're going to center this in there also. There we go. And we'll cut that. And I have I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Nope, that's not it either. Somewhere around here I have a little poker, but I'm just going to use my knife and poke a little hole in there. There we go. And I have, these are micro mini brads, tiny round brads. And they're spare parts from Hobby Lobby, but I do not think they carry these anymore. But I'm sure someone out there does carry some. And then I did my hands in brown. So we're just going to get those on there. And with the brad, you'll be able to rearrange them on there if you want. The brad's so tiny. There we go. I'm going to poke that through that little hole. Flip it over and spread out these. Alright, there we go. Double press. Okay. And I'm going to take a sharp pair of scissors. Not those ones. Sometimes you get scissors, and if you cut tape apart with them, they get all sticky, and that just happened to be a pair that someone used for... Now, I love this die, but I almost wish they had another one for the background like this. And maybe they do, and I didn't ever see it, but that would be nice. And I thought that when I was cutting it out too before, I thought, man, that would be nice to have the base part to it. And I understand they're limited. In order to keep cost down and stuff, they gotta stop somewhere. So I understand that. There's a lot of little lines in here, but it does not have to be perfect because it is so curvy. And let me get this out of my way. There we go. And this one I'm gonna. This is going to get other things around it too. And I didn't want to do this prior to because I wanted you to see it. I'd like to include some of the things we can do together. It takes a little bit of time sometimes, but I figured if I had the flowers pre-made and stuff, that would speed up our time a little bit. So I think we're going to be just fine here. There's our clock. All right. So that's all done. So now you can move this around. Oops, maybe not. Maybe I got that too tight. All right. So that's done. So let's start with that. And like I said, I did not pre-fit anything. So I don't know where I'm going to put it. It's so big. It's so big. I'm wondering. What I think I'm going to do, because it is so big, see, I did not pre-fit anything. I think I'm going to cut this down. And I'm going to do it. I'm just going to try to stay a little away from the edge there, and I'm just going to go around and start cutting some of this out. It's beautiful, but if it's too big for my, and I'm just kind of doing up and down random movements. It's glued down, so it doesn't really matter, and that will help. Because it is just way too big for that little clock, for that little birdhouse. And like I said, I did not try to pre-fit anything. Yeah. There we go. That's better. That's better. That's better. That's better. There we go. All right, so now I have to decide where I want that. Draw one on the side. All right, I'm thinking maybe a kitty corner off one of these corners here, like that. So I'm just going to run a bead of glue down the center, and we'll just place that like that. And I don't necessarily care if the one's up or, but we will. All right, bead of hot glue. Okay. And we are just going to let that set right like that. And no one's going to see that hot glue. So we're just going to let that sit a second. And it gives it more dimension too by not being flat. It gives it some more 3D. All right. Like I said, I used 2 sheets of that other one to just, I think I'm going to place a leaf under there. Let's bring the glue gun over here. Those scissors. And I'm just going to, it'll be hidden, so that glue gun sit there. There we go. I also have some jute here, and maybe we'll run a bead of that all the way around too. Let me start in the back here. Yeah, I think that right down the center there. And I am going to use our glitter glue here. Just get a nice bead there. I know this worked good on the paper, so let's see if it works good on the wood to adhere to that. It's turned. I'm just going to continue to go all the way around. I like to, for nature things, to use some more of the natural looking things you might have. I'm using a fair amount so that it has something that it dries clear. And there's going to be flowers and stuff kind of dipping around the edges, so. I did not cut this yet because I don't know how much I'm going to need, so we'll do that at the very last part. I like using my papers for things other than just scrapbooking and stuff. In fact, some of my shelves in my room, I painted them, and then, like if it was a thin shelf or something, then I would actually add paper to it just for decorative edge to it. Alright, now we're at the end. We can cut this. There we go. This dries fairly quickly. There we go, especially being absorbed up by some of the jute twine here. Alright, that gives us that cute little edge there. And there we go. And there's no rhyme or reason to my decorating today. I just wanted to, boy, I like these pearls too. These I might have to hot glue down though. Oh, would that work on there like that? No, I want to see the paint. So let's see. I'm going to try it on the back. That way if I don't like it, let's see if I can get a thin enough bead of glue on that top edge there. There we go. And put that right in there. Tap it down. Now plastic is cool, so when it hits the glue, it cools the glue off pretty quickly. So sometimes this does not work, but we're going to try it. Right, we can do another bead here. Just a little. Oops, I'm going to have to tip that up a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. And press it in there. And there's going to be flowers along this edge too. So, go. Make sure that's kind of set before we move along. Alright, whoops. Okay. Get my fingers to work today. I'm going to hold that away with my finger so it doesn't get in the hot glue. Try not to burn myself there. Whoops. Come on. Should have been nice if I had decided to do this before I put that other leaf on there, but that's alright. We'll get it. There we go. And if you can hear that TV in the background, that's my husband. It's Sunday, so he is home and he's watching TV. And, that's all part. Start another one. Okay. Almost sounds like he's got two things going out there. I'm not sure if he's got his phone going or what. Come on, drive. And we're gonna just keep going. We're almost done here. So I'm sure you can. Oh, that got a little warm. There we go. I'm sure you can hear it. We'll just pretend it's background music. There we go. Last panel. And these are just a string of, these are from the Notions department at Hobby Lobby. In there by their ribbons and stuff that comes on a roll. And I like these, the ones that are on a string, because then they're all together for you and it kind of makes it a little easier. And sometimes finding something out of the department you normally would shop in can lead to a better deal, because it might be on sale when your ones like in the actual paper crafting department might not be on sale. There, so we got that. There we go. I got a glue string or something on there. There we go. Okay. Alright, so we got the jute, we've got the beads. Well, let's start gluing some flowers down. Oh, I do have this this is just seam binding ribbon. And I scrunched it, got it wet, scrunched it. And so it was a pretty color. I cut that and maybe put that on somewhere too. I'm going to add just a little bit of glue on the back side here to hold this together. There we go. And it is, whoop, got a little hot there. It is I think I'm just going to maybe like that. As we fill it in, we'll put some flowers around there. So we're just going to tack that right up there like that. There we go. Alright, let that sit. Now I do have a little bird here that I found. It was in like one of my Christmas ornaments, and this is actually what my granddaughter likes to walk around with, but I had to take it away from her. She's 2 and she pulled his eyes out, and I thought about maybe just gluing him inside there, but I'm not sure. Maybe I'll try that the last thing here. Let's start gluing some flowers on here. Got plenty of sizes here. There we go. We've got our pink ones. Or peach. They're actually a peach color with a textured cardstock. But I wanted something to coincide with the... Alright. I think we're going to start with one right here. Good dab of hot glue. And we're just going to press on that. They are, if I glued them together with art glitter glue. Now there's no pearls in the centers of these, but maybe we'll put something in the centers of them. Have to see how it goes. I want to, I'm going to take one of my smaller ones of these that I made, and I just made big ones and some small ones. I didn't make teeny tiny ones, but I did make a variety of sizes just to try to have some. And then I do have some, excuse me, pre-made roses that I just got from wish.com, I think. But I figured these are so much easier just to tuck in and use rather than trying to make them. Makes it easier for me. Trying to use as much Graphic45 as I can, but sometimes you have to throw in some other products. So we might use Sorry about the plastic noise. Now these ones I don't cut the wire all the way off of because then they come apart. So I leave a little bit of wire on there and then just push it over so it holds it together. And then we'll just dab of glue. I'm just going to use these as fillers. Bring in that little bit of pink there. So just a little bit of filler. Like that. I don't know what's the best view for you. Maybe right there. Maybe grab another one of those. Snip. Push it down. There we go. And we're going to add one right on this side. Maybe two, like this. Just that for you. Yeah, just like that. And we can come back in and add more as we go along. We'll just start with that. Let's concentrate on this little part of the house here. Let's, oopsie. I'll put one down here. Like I said, they're very stiff because when they were formed, they were kind of damp, and then they stiffened up a little bit. Small one there. Like that. If you just hold it for a few seconds with your hot glue, it'll grab real quick. There we go. Basic, I'm just going to go around and start placing flowers in different spots. Just to pull in. I just love that dye, let me tell you. That makes the prettiest flowers. Some more plastic noise there. Let's throw some white ones in there. And these weren't a bad price, but with Wish, a lot of it is comes from out of the country, so it takes a while to get it. So you want to plan ahead if you're going to order anything from them, that you make sure you allow yourself a few months, because I've had it take sometimes 3 months or more to get something that I wanted. There we go. Put a pink one up here. There. It's looking kind of pretty. And we will go around and get all of our glue strings and stuff. I think I want something right down here by that. So let's turn our attention to that. Let's get a peach one in here. Glue. And we're just going to press it. The way my camera's angled, this is a pretty good view for you guys. But yeah, if you're looking to buy a flower dye, this is a very nice one. I really like it. I'm going to use one of the medium-sized ones here. Over the top of that, like that. Oops, sorry. Just like that. And as I add, I got to be more careful because I don't want to be knocking off what I've already done. So hold it until the glue grabs. It's coming along there. And we'll add a couple ones to this. There we go. And these smaller ones, of course, don't take as much glue. You see that? And another pink. That right in there, just like that. I think I'm going to grab some of the chipboard a second and see what we can do with that. Just for a second here. That way if I have to, I like this little button here. Yeah. Let's here, let's go on the side. We'll put it down here. No, I don't want to squeeze out those holes. So I'm just gonna put it down there like that. We'll be adding more things to it. And then I have a little tag here that's cute. Maybe I'll take a little piece of jute here for that. And we will run that through that hole. And then run this back through that hole this way. Pull it tight. There we go. I'm going to loosen that up just enough to put a little glue on the back there to allow that to tighten down and not come loose later on. Just a dab. I'm going to give that a tug. There we go. Yeah. And put my fingers in it, which is hot. There we go. I think we're going to glue that like that. So I'm going to need a little hot glue here, a little hot glue here. And I think that will, right here and there. That should. Right. Oh, it's scrapping. Okay. It's just taking a second. The glue is dripping down and trying to grab. So there we go. There we go. Just let that dry a second. There we go. Okay. Now I want something, because I don't want this all shown. I don't know if you can see that. I don't want that back all shown, so I think I'm going to stack some flowers in here. I'm going to start out with a big peach one. Because even though I like that, being able to see that 3-dimension there, I don't like the idea of that back showing there. So I'm going to press that in there. That. We'll get a smaller one there, just like that in there. Let's see if I can get that in there. Perfect. Just to eat up some of that space. And then we can take, I have these other, we can take, yeah, we'll put a little on the back of that, slide it in there. The big one here. Two. Yeah, I think I'm going to try to get it up underneath that. Reach in there, tap it down. There we go. And we are going to have glue strings. We'll go pick those out. Unless they get in our way, we'll pick those out prior to... Now I also have these tiny ones here. And I think we can just use this glue for that. Let me just place them here and there on the... And just put a few here and there. See? Stay on there. That's a little bit more. There we go. We have these little leaves. I don't know if I can get that in there with my fingers. Let me grab some tweezers here. Sometimes you start building and you get a... Nope, not there. Okay. I'll just put that aside a minute. We'll add another flower on there. Oh, there we go. Oh, goodness sakes, those do not want to stay on there. That wood is... There we go. Those are not drying very fast. Strings. Okay, now that kind of conceals that a little better. I think I can get maybe some of these smaller roses down there to hide that too. So let's try that. Press that in there. Use my fingers on the clock to kind of press that in there. Got the pink one. I think we can get that down in there too. Now if you run into small places that you can't get to, more. You can use your tweezers. It must be burn day today. There we go. Alright, so that's a little better. That kind of conceals that a little more. Alright. Like that better. Let's run some of these smaller branches. I'm going to... because that's paper, I can use this here. I'm going to tuck that right underneath that rose if I can. There we go. And then I want to put a little bead right here along the back side so I can curve it in and get it to start holding down to that paper there. Just like that. There. Alright, let's grab some more of these, and I'm going to move up here to the top. Oopsie. I'll use a couple different ones. I'm just going to kind of get that to lay flat there. Maybe a bigger one here. I don't want to cover her face. Nice bigger one here. Oopsie. There we go. Then what we'll do is we'll take another one of these peach flowers. Hot glue. We're going to press that right on there. Just like that. You see that? Pull my arm out of the way. And these leaves are cut out of that same paper, so they kind of blend in, but I didn't want them to be in your face, stand out. You can tell that they're there. And I will put something in the center of those pearls there. Pearls or something that's there. Here's another pretty tag. Let's do another little piece of jute. Do the same thing. Run this through the hole. Pull it up so I can see it. I'm going to add my hot glue right there right now. Put these two through here. Maybe. Pull that. There we go. And that hot glue will lock that in place. Alright, let's see here. That garden thing's clean there. Love the tags. It's just, I'm thinking right like in here. I don't want to cover up my words. And the rest is, here we go. And that glue will start dripping down and grab a hold here. There we go. Just like that. Another little tag there. That dry. Alright. I think I'm just going to put a couple of the smaller flowers by that. Whoops, come on. There we go. All right. Another blue string here. There we go. Right, I'm going to get some flowers down at the base of this here. So let's do another peach one on this side, the smaller one. Just like that. Hold it. And then one of these ones here. There we go. Yeah, that'll work. There we go. Hold. And you know what? Before I do that, I've got some of these little beads left over. I also have some of these. Now these are from the wedding section at Hobby Lobby. But you know how birds always have like weird things in their nests? I thought something like these might be cool too. Whoa, those do not stay in there. And they're very light plastic, so I don't know how they're going to do with hot glue. That's why I left that paper on there. So let me see if I can run a bead of glue along that paper. See if I can get that to hold in there. I'm just going to stick it in there. I just thought birds always have some weird things in their nests. They will grab anything to build their nests. And I just thought something like that might be cute. Let's use a few of these. All right, I think I can get another one. Trying to find where it'll slide underneath something. Can always cut it a little shorter, I think. Let's see, we've got that one there. See if we can slide under here. Maybe underneath that tag. I'm going to bend it. So I'm giving myself a loop there. It'll be shorter. Maybe easier to tuck in and glue. Yeah, alright. I'm going to slide it back there. Right behind that. Little tag there. There we go. Right. Now we'll use another one, but we're going to put that on first, and then we'll decorate around it, kind of. I think first let's get a couple smaller ones. Where are those pearls? I do want to use those pearls in there somewhere. Let's see. I'm going to slide up underneath there or something. It would stand up. Nope, 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 not happening. All right. So, let's put these. Got sidetracked here. All right, that. I think I'm going to add a white one right down in there. Right there. That little mark there is from where they had that stapled in. What I think I'll do is take a couple leaves, glue them on there, cover that. These are a little bit bigger leaves that are in that set. Make a cup there like that. Then I'm going to take, now let's take this last white one here. I have more, but the last one that was in that stack that I grabbed. And we'll set that in those Graphic45 leaves. Just like that. And that covers up that blemish in the wood that was there. There we go. And my room is very light today. So these colors are kind of washed out, but I have two good sized windows in my craft room. And that's just the way it is. I love the light. Alright, so we've got two panels here that don't have anything on them. And then we're doing pretty good at the top. So let's take one of these, another one of these here. Cut it. We'll bend it. I'm going to kind of put it so it does both, maybe. Yeah, we'll put it so it hits both of these here. There we go. Down a little bit. There. So we're right like that. Let it dry. And then I think I'm going to apply like that. Do I want the tag? Maybe some brads, some pretty brads there. Or a rose on each end. Let me see. Now I could have cut a bunch of smaller. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. We'll glue a rose on each end there. I'm going to cut it. And then we'll let that actually run right through there. And there we go. Just like that. Whoops, I am sorry. That wasn't even in camera. No, I'm going to bend it over. This one will be. Alright. There we go. I left my wire. I'm going to add my glue right there. Slip it through the hole. And then bend the wire over. There we go. There. Now we're going to glue that tag right on there, just like that. Get rid of all these glue strings first. There we go. I love these chipboards here. I'm going to give a good amount of glue. I want that to stick down good, especially seeing how it's going over top of that. Let that glue drip down in there. Get a good grip. What else we got? So we still got 4 of our flowers here, and we've got lots of leaves yet. So let's put some leaves in there too. All right. Now for this one, because I'm sliding it down in there, we'll use hot glue because that will drip down and grab a hold. There we go. Maybe another big one here. Coming out that way. A little gentler. This one might show a little bit more. There we go. Right down there. There we go. Kind of bend that up a little bit. We got a good view. Alright, so now I'm going to take a flower. I'm going to put it right here. Do I have another peach one? Alright, so a dab of this. And we're going to put that right on top of that. And the leaves will stick out a little bit from that. You can always kind of bend them up to make sure they're visible. So they come along there pretty good. Alright, so then we have some smaller leaves. Let's and that's the fun thing of cutting things out of decorative cardstock, because you never know what you're going to get. You just, every cut is different and a surprise, so it makes it kind of nice. And I have I'm going to place another flower right here, right like that. Eat up some of that space there. There we go. I'm going to hold these up because I don't want it to interfere with my jute. There we go. Oh, it's turning out so cute. Cute, cute, cute. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay. Now I have that spot there that's pretty big. What do we got on the top? Oh, I think I'm going to save one of these flowers for the top here. Let's put this one here because we got the peaches up there. So let's put this one on here, right down by that button a little bit. Yeah, we got that. Get that little ribbon out of there. There we go. There. And we do have a couple pink ones left, so let's pop them in. Then I don't have to put anything away. Oops, pushed it in. There we go. There we go. Like that. Another white one here. All right. We have a lot of glue strings here. And that happens when you're using hot glue. You just end up with them. Alright, that's cute. I feel like I should have something more by her. Maybe maybe a flower right there. Like that. We'll use that last big one there. And that will not cover her up at all. There we go. There we go. Just like that. And then I have one big peach one left. But we have a spot right here. So let's fill that spot in right there. Okay, there we go. And then I do want to, small leaves, can I get that under there? Yeah, we just have a little hot glue here. I'm just going to slide that right, oops, and get that away. Things in my way. Slide it right underneath that leaf. There. Under that flower. There we go. You could use any color flowers you wanted. You could use the greens, pull out more of the greens. I wanted the peaches and the pinks. Alright, so what do we got here? We can do another leaf here to fill in that space. So let's do that. Let's add another leaf here and just slide it right down in there. Leaving it so it kind of pulls up over the edge there. Then we can add like I said, these are just fillers, and that's all I use them for usually, is just to fill in spots where it's not practical for me to sit and try to make these tiny flowers. It would be so time consuming. And now I did have some of the beautiful Graphic45 roses, but I have them in red. I don't have them in the pinks. So there we go. And I think we'll just grab something to put in the center of those other flowers there. Some pearls. Grab some pearls for that. And I think we'll just about be done. I have some white ones here. Yeah, let's just keep it simple and go with the white ones. Alright. Alright. Let's see, where's all my peach ones? There's another one there. Now, I always glue these. These have glue on the back, but I have had where they've dried up, so I typically pull the glue and just use my art glitter glue because I know that's going to stick. These things are so tiny for my fingers. These are not the best tweezers to use here. Oopsie. I think I have a glue string somewhere. There we go. I do have this little gadget here that can work pretty good. Alright, let's see here. So tip you up. Oops, here, I'm going to put it down so you can see what I'm doing there. There we go. And then this just has a sticky end on it. Oh, that's got glue on it. Okay, so if you set it down, you should be able to pick it up with that. It's kind of like a little grabber, and then it usually releases pretty good. It sometimes works a little better than the tweezers. Again, I'm going to put it so you can see it, I hope. I'm just going to actually give each of these a dab of glue, and then I'll peel this off its glue strip. Sometimes easier said than done. Touch that. Bring it in there. Now if you see a little glue, whoops, come on. Oh my goodness, you're just going to give me a hard time. That glue will dry around there, so it's not a big deal. And get one more there. Now I didn't count how many flowers I made. Like I said, I just started cutting and throwing them together. Just until I thought, well, if I have too many, then that's fine. I'll get thrown in my stash. Oh, there's one more there. There we go. And I'm going to try that bird, but I don't think I'm going to use it. But we'll take a look and see what we think before I decide. No? All right. There we go. And we're just going to place you in there like that. All right. There we go. Oh, I think it's pretty. I like it. That will look good in my craft room. Well, let's just see what happens if I put that little bird in there. Oh, he kind of looks cute, doesn't he? My granddaughter probably come and rip him right out of there. Yeah, I think he kind of looks cute. So what I think I'll do is I'll just give him a little hot glue on the side there. That way if I change my mind, I can always pull it back out. I'm just going to slide you in there, little buddy. Push to that side and that side. There, now it's just barely peeking out. There we go. And that is our craft. And our hashtag Graphic45 off the page. And there was one more thing I wanted to do. Now I have, and since I'm this far on it, I don't know if I wanted to use it. I thought about using this. It's flocking. And I thought about putting some of that on there. And making it look mossy. But, you know, it looks so cute already. I think I'm going to leave it. And we'll use that on another project. Now that I'm looking at all this, I probably should have done that prior to, so you wouldn't get all that stuff in your other things. So something like that, I have to remember to do that prior to, before decorating, because that stuff, that flocking, will go into everything. So there's our project for today. I hope you like it. Again, that's hashtag Graphic45 off the page. I want to thank you for joining me today, and if you would, I'd appreciate you subscribing to my channel. Give me a thumbs up if you like my video, and please hit that bell so you can be notified when I do another video. I hope you all have a great day. See you soon. And I'm going to be crafting until then, and I hope you are too. Bye-bye.